Hello YouTube, it's me, your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. We have an excellent trade for you guys today. All-Star Batman Volume 2, Ends of the Earth from DC Rebirth. I wanted to read this single issue. Thank God I didn't. Thank God I got the trade so I can reread these because these are excellent. Volume 1 was incredible, and Volume 2 does not disappoint either. I'm going to read you the back and the inside cover. This is not a Batman story, it's a villain story. He is Gotham City's guardian. He is the Justice League's Dark Knight. He is Batman, one of the most iconic characters in history, but without his equally classic foes, his legend would be incomplete. New York Times best-selling writer Scott Snyder! Personal favorite of mine. I'll read anything he writes. Author of such instant classic Batman graphic novels as The Court of Owls, Death of the Family, and Endgame, joins forces with an all-star lineup of comics' top artists to bring the madness and menace of some of the Dark Knight's greatest villains into the modern era. Join Snyder and his frequent collaborator, Jacques, from Batman the Black Mirror. The art in Black Mirror was so good. We reviewed Black Mirror, so check it out. Once they plunge into the icy heart of darkness with Mr. Freeze, eat the forbidden fruit offered by the sinister and seductive Poison Ivy in a tale illustrated by Tula Lote. Take a journey to the far side of sanity with the Mad Hatter through art by comic superstar Giuseppe Camilloci. The Mad Hatter art was insane, and the Ivy art was very sleek. I really enjoyed it. Then finally, the demonic mind behind these master criminals' apocalyptic ambitions is revealed, and it actually reveals who it is in that sentence. The demonic mind, the demon, Ra's al Ghul. All-Star Batman Volume 2, Ends of the Earth, is Batman at his best and villains at their worst. Collects issues 6 through 9 of the ongoing series, including the conclusion to The Cursed Wheel. Drawn by Francesco Francavilla, Batman the Black Mirror. Wow, what a book. What a book! And then we got another read-up on the inside. From sea to shining sea, some criminals are too big for Gotham City, but no matter how far they flee, the Bat will always be there to stop them. When Mr. Freeze releases an ancient and deadly bacteria, it starts as a chain reaction that will set Batman on the trail of not just Victor Freeze, but his old enemies Poison Ivy and Mad Hatter as well. From a remote research facility in the Alaskan tundra to the Nevada desert and the swamplands of the Deep South, Batman journeys across the United States to discover how to stop the growing swath of destruction, and just as importantly, stop the people behind it. When the thread Bruce Wayne is pulling finally leads him to its source, Batman and Duke enter a fight of their lives in the nation's capital, with all of civilization at the line. So the first story is of Mr. Freeze, who awakened. He woke up. These cryogenically freeze people to be like his zombie slaves, which was pretty cool. But he was going to release a virus to kill everyone on the planet so the Earth could be cold and frozen and blah blah blah. But Batman stopped him, of course, with a counter virus. But a little bit of the virus got out after the Blackhawks blew the place up. A little bit of the virus got out and killed a small child and a bunch of other people. But he was able to stop it using a cure that Poison Ivy gave him when he went after Poison Ivy, and he saved her from Blackhawks as well. Then there's like, lots of the Blackhawks aren't really Blackhawks, they're just League of Assassins members dressed as Blackhawks and using Blackhawk tech, but then at the end it reveals there were actual Blackhawks doing stuff. Also, Blackhawks, I'm not the biggest Blackhawks fan. I do like the Blackhawks. Who doesn't? They were my grandfather's, one of my grandfather's favorite books, though. So they'll always have a special place in my heart for that. He's the one that got me into comics, so listen to your grandpas. Unless they're, racist, homophobic. But, yeah, and then he goes to fight Mad Hatter in the swamp, and Mad Hatter's trying to convince him that he's not actually Batman, and he's actually sick, and that he's been under the influence of mind control tech for a long, long time. Mad Hatter seems to know his identity as well, but the art in the Mad Hatter story was incredible. Just incredible. I mean, look at this crazy-ass shit. I love that panel right there. With the big, scary Babadook-looking motherfucker. Right here. What a beautiful art. What beautiful art. The art in all of these stories is just perfect for Batman. Just perfect for Batman. And then he goes to stop Ra's al Ghul, who kidnapped Duke Thomas, aka the Signal. He doesn't have his name at this point, but he's the Signal, I believe. And he's holding him in the Washington Monument, and he's gonna broadcast all this stuff to, like, throw, like, throw the world into chaos. He's going to make a nuclear meltdown happen. He's going to make electromagnetic rails go crazy so people die on trains and in cars and everything. And he's just going to throw the world into chaos, and his man-bats are there. But it turns out Batman used the mind control tech on Ra's from the Mad Hatter to make Ra's think his plan was working while Batman was actually stopping it, so no one died. And the plague was stopped and everything. And then there's some Riddler Gucci. Riddler's doing all these puzzles that Batman's having trouble solving. And Daryl Gutierrez, remember he had a seed in him in the Mr. Bloom story at the end of New 52 Batman. I haven't reviewed that yet, but I'll get to it. I have all in New 52 Batman. I've done through Volume 3 at this point. But, yeah, so it turns out he's actually working with the Riddler, promising people cures if they'll be part of the Riddler's plan, because he can cure anyone with his powers. And he actually is trying to figure out who Duke is, because he can sense something inside Duke, and it turns out Duke is a metahuman. It actually goes more into that in Dark Knight's Metal, about his light powers. But it seems like they finally awaken at the end of this book, and he helps Batman figure out the puzzle so Batman can save people. But, yeah, Duke's metahuman powers awaken, and I'm hoping to see more about that. I'm reading most of my Rebirth stuff through trades, so I'm a little behind when it comes to Duke Thomas. But, I mean, this was an excellent book. What a book. Holy crap. If you're not reading All-Star Batman from DC Rebirth, something is fucking wrong with you. Scott Snyder, Jacques, Francesco Francavilla, Tula Lotte, Giuseppe Camilloci, all of you are fucking gods. The work you did on this volume is incredible. Definitely worth every cent of the $22.99. I actually got this 10% off, but worth every fucking cent. Definitely a rereader. Multiple times this will be read. This is a fantastic fucking book. And I'm reading a lot of Batman and Green Lantern right now, and I'm just so happy this was in my to-read stack, because this is a fucking incredible book. I'll be doing Volume 3 soon. I also have more New 52 Detective Comics. I have New 52 Batman The Dark Knight. I got lots of Green Lantern I want to do. Green Lantern Corps. I'm actually mostly done with Green Lantern Corps, stuff that I currently have. But I also got to get some Spider-Man and Power Rangers and all kinds of other stuff that's not DC. Black Panther, etc. But I mean, if you can get your hands on this book, get your hands on it. Any way that you legally can, get your hands on this book. It is fucking amazing. Is it as good as Volume 1? I don't know. It's been a little while since I read Volume 1. Volume 1 might have been a little better, but this is still an excellent story in its own right. Excellent book. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. That is it. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all later.